तो 25वें का लास्ट टाइम जब किया था हमने, तो अव्यक्त की अचिंत्य की बात हुई थी, अविकार।
तन में ना आने वाला।
और उसमें हमारा डिस्कशन ये रहा था कि जो आत्म है उसका डिफरेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन जो है वो उसको डिफरेंट आइडेंटिटी दे देता है। जब वो आत्म, इस बात के ऊपर मदन जी ने थोड़ा सा कमेंट भी किया था, जब वो आत्म जो है वो चित्त के साथ में आइडेंटिफाई करता है तो हम उसको जीवात्मा बोलते हैं। अब चित्त के अंदर ही, वैसे तो जो मदन जी ने कहा था बात, उसको हमारे शास्त्रों के हिसाब से ऐसे बोला गया है कि अंतःकरण में मन, बुद्धि, चित्त, अहंकार 4 चीजें होती हैं। बट चित्त जो है वो बेस है, वो स्पेस है, वो रिपोजिटरी है जिसके अंदर सभी वासना और संस्कार जो है वो जमा रहते हैं।
हर्ष, यहाँ चेत को तुम यू रेफरिंग माइंड, राइट?
अभी हम माइंड को रेफर नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर यूजिंग संस्कृत टर्मिनोलॉजी which is different from the definition of mind.
नहीं, जब ये कह रहे हो ना कि आत्मा इज आइडेंटिफाइड विद चित, इट इज कॉल्ड जीवात्मा, तो वहां पे चित जो है वो मन हुआ ना फिर।
ओके, तो चित्त और मन में फर्क क्या है? मन, बुद्धि और चित्त और अहंकार, ये जो 4 चीजें हैं, इनमें आपस में क्या क्या फर्क है ये समझ लेते हैं। तो देन वी विल बी एबल टू मोर क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई कि भाई किसके साथ में क्या आइडेंटिफाई है। तो चित्त इज द रिपोजिटरी ऑफ इम्प्रेशन। Those impressions in themselves are not readable. They are not. They are written in a pranic energy blocks. प्राणा की जो एनर्जी है उसके ब्लॉक्स की तरह से इम्प्रेशंस लिखे गए, जो कि हमारे चित्त, मतलब जैसे सबकॉन्शियस का वर्ड हम यूज करते हैं, तो सबकॉन्शियस में, और चित्त तो खैर हमने कहा था ना, चित्त इज बिगर देन सबकॉन्शियस इन द सेंस कि सबकॉन्शियस इज ओनली रिलेटेड विद द दिस लाइफ. The definition of subconscious relates with the impressions of this life. But Chit actually includes the impressions of previous lives
Previous life,
also.
right? Vasana.
But they are still in the subconscious. So subconscious में you are not able to read what is there in your own subconscious. It is not readable. When the subconscious gets activated, when a vasana gets activated, it then comes out into the conscious. When it comes into the conscious, it becomes recognizable as a desire, as a thought. So it becomes recognizable only when it comes into the conscious awareness. Before that, it is not recognizable. Before that, it is only an impression. So when it comes into the recognizable awareness, then it projects itself as man and buddhi. Now I know what my desire is or what my emotion is. And the ego, which is the 4th part of the Antakarna, is, if you remember that light and the glass plate, the light of Atma, when it is projecting through the Chit, going outwards to the conscious man and buddhi, it creates a shadow, and that shadow is called ego. Okay.
एक बार फिर से बोलो जरा ये.
Okay. So there is a light on one side of the chit. Okay. This is the light of Atma, the awareness, consciousness of Atma. When it projects through chit, then it goes, the chit, it gets activated. The vasana gets activated. When the vasana gets activated, it projects itself as a man and buddhi, desire and thought. And then when it gets activated like that, then a shadow is formed outside, which is a ego. तो जैसे हमने वो ग्लास प्लेट की बात की थी ना, प्लेट के ऊपर स्क्रैचेस वाज द इंप्रेशंस.
Impressions.
तो जब स्क्रैच को एक्टिवेट किया गया तो वो आपके अवेयरनेस के अंदर आपके मन और आपके भाव और आपके विचार की तरह से सामने आया. And this whole light going through all of this projects as a shadow. That shadow becomes a personality of a person. जिसका चित्त है वो और जिसके मन और बुद्धि का भाव है और जिसके हाथ में, उसी का एक ईगो और पर्सनैलिटी उसकी प्रोजेक्ट होती है. ठीक है ना. जो आपके चित्त से जो आत्मा प्रोजेक्ट कर रही है वो आपकी पर्सनैलिटी को प्रोजेक्ट करती है. जो मेरे चित्त से करती है तो वो मेरी पर्सनैलिटी को प्रोजेक्ट करती है. तो ऑल्दो जब हम कहते हैं ना सूक्ष्म शरीर या जब हम जीवात्मा की बात करते हैं तो पंचकोश विवेक के अंदर भी मन, बुद्धि और चित्त तीनों को जोड़ा जाता है उसमें. बट टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग जो चित्त के जो इंप्रेशंस हैं ओनली दोज आर टेकन. जो कॉन्शियस अवेयरनेस ऑफ योर थॉट्स एंड इमोशंस है, दैट इज नॉट टेकन, दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी टेकन. क्योंकि जो उसका जो सोर्स है चित्त के अंदर जो वासना है, दैट वासना हैज गॉन फ्रॉम वन बॉडी टू अनदर बॉडी. और वो वहां जाके जब फिर से उसको अवेयरनेस प्रोजेक्ट करेगी, फिर से वो एक्टिवेट होगी, तो वो फिर से कोई भाव, कोई उसमें विचार, कोई चीज प्रोजेक्ट करेगी. सो हमारी बात ये हो रही थी लास्ट टाइम भी कि जब चित्त के साथ में जो आत्मा जो है, जब चित्त के साथ आइडेंटिफाई करती है तो वो एक जीव आत्मा के रूप में प्रकट होती है. मगर जब वो मन और बुद्धि यानी आपके जो भाव हैं, जो आपके जो विचार हैं, जो आपकी जो डिजायर्स हैं, उनके साथ में जब वो आइडेंटिफाई करती है तो वो एज ए ईगो आइडेंटिफाई करती है. एंड अगर उसको और ग्रॉस लेवल पे ले जाते हैं तो हम कहते हैं जब बॉडी के साथ आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं तो ये मैं बॉडी है, मैं एक आदमी हूँ, I am a man. It is a identification with the body. My skin is brown, my skin is white, my skin is black. It is an identification with the body. My likings are these, my dislikes are these, my beliefs are these. This is identification with your man and buddhi. But chitta ka identification is not aware. We don't get aware of it. We always have chit in the background active, but we only become aware of what projects out of the chit. जैसे कि हमारा जो desire और जो thoughts है, we are aware of that, but we are not aware कि वो जो desire आई है वो उसके पीछे वासना कौन सी थी. We are not aware of that one. जो thought आई है उसके पीछे वासना कौन सी थी, वो जो impression है उसका, we are not aware of that. So that's why the conscious awareness is only for the man and buddhi. And that's why once we are identifying with the man and buddhi, that becomes our personality, our ego. Right? तो उसके अंदर जहाँ भी हमें कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आता है तो फिर हमारी ईगो बढ़ जाती है, जैसा और इस तरह की चीज़ें इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं. So anyway, so this was basically an explanation on how Atma cannot be translated in English as soul, because Atma जो है, it is much bigger than the concept of soul. Just like जैसे अभी हम बात कर रहे थे कि चित्त is a bigger concept than the subconscious.
Yeah.
So the subconscious is not a good translation of चित्त. इसी तरह से आत्मा is not a good translation of soul. So it is that same Atma which projects, identifies, and becomes or takes up a role of a different entity. It's the same Atma. It doesn't change. It only changes the role. It only changes the identification. As we get bigger and bigger identification with the Atma itself becomes the Brahman. So Aham Brahmasmi. But as we don't do that so easily, we normally get identified with our own body, our own mind, our own beliefs, our own thoughts, our own desires. So all that combination comes out as an ego, as our personality. So on that level, Bhagavan says the first few shlokas are very deep and very profound statements. However, it's not easy for anyone to actually understand them very quickly. And that's why Bhagavan says that from there onwards, he brings him back again to the area that is understood easily by Arjun. तो 26वां जो श्लोक है, छब्बीसवें श्लोक में वो अर्जुन को वापस ले आते हैं कि बट इवन इफ यू थिंक that this is constantly dying and constantly born and dying, even then you should not grieve. At cha ainam. Now, and this means the same Atma, right? But now this Atma, the best way to symbolize this is by using the self word with a capital S and a small s. The small s becomes the individualized Atma, which is Jivatma, and capital S becomes the Atma itself, the totality.
The Brahman.
Right. So he says that even if you think that this self is born and dies constantly, even then there is nothing to grieve.
Yeah.
तो अब मतलब उसको आत्मा से जीव आत्मा पे ले आए कि अगर आप ये समझते हैं, if you think this जीव आत्मा is constantly dying and constantly taking birth again in a new body, then that is a continuous process. Then why should you grieve? And moving on to 27th, then he confirms it again. He says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mrityasya cha. The one who is born,
He's going to die.
it is certain that he will die. Tasmat pariharya arthe na tvam shochit arhasi. Therefore, when it is inevitable, when it is going to happen, then you should not be grieving. So for certain is death for the born, and certain is birth for the death, for the dead. Therefore, over the inevitable, you should not grieve. Now this is the level of Jivatma. That a continuous journey of the Jivatma, it will take up many bodies. But once it has taken a body, that means it is born. And if there is a body, that means it will inevitably, it will die. Although from the level of Jivatma, the journey will continue. Remember one time we talked about that we consider life to be from birth to death, but actually that is not the life. That is just one part of the journey of the Jivatma. And then he continues, and now he puts a general statement which we are talking about most of the time, that beings are avyakta adini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata. भूतानि भूत कहते हैं जो
लोगों के लिए ना, पीपुल,
भवती जो एग्जिस्ट करता है, तो इस उसमें भूतानि का मतलब है जो बीइंग्स, लोग हम लोग कह देते हैं, बट बीइंग्स, राइट, एनीथिंग, any living being,
any living creature.
it includes not only humans but anything that has a life. So he says that the beings, that the living beings are avyakt in the beginning. They are not there in the beginning. They exist in the middle and become avyakt again. And because of this, what is there to grieve? The beings are unmanifested in the beginning, manifested in the middle. यहाँ पर उसको अर्जुन को भारत के नाम से एड्रेस किया. How he is being addressed as Bharat here. And this Bharat has two meanings. Bharat Vansh ka Bharat, plus the one who is reveling in knowledge. A person cannot appreciate these deeper philosophical spiritual truths until his knowledge increases to that level. So when the knowledge increases to that level, then he is rightly called the one who is reveling in knowledge. But the person who is being taken to that knowledge is the son of, or the Vanshaj of, Vanshaj of Bharat. Again, you see the interesting thing is the same Bharat, same person who was just a Vanshaj of Bharat will become the one who is reveling in knowledge. It's the same person, but they're two different states. So in this particular stanza, shlok, Bhagavan has taken the word Bharat to show again the same principle, that it's the same person, but now you're no more just a Vanshaj of Bharat, but you are also the one who is reveling in knowledge. You see, the ego drops as we revel in knowledge, because the identity with the man and buddhi begins to drop. The ego automatically drops. So, in simple terms, basically what he's saying is that the beings are unmanifested in the beginning, they are avyakt in the beginning, they become vyakt in the middle, and they become avyakt again. So, what is there to grieve about? But having said that, now this is where they will say that people understand it, but yet do not know that Atma, which is
Eternal.
taking different identities and becoming a different being. But those who have understood a little bit of it, those who understand this principle, although they have not known it yet, but they have understood the principle, how do they see what happens? So Makram 29th करेंगे
29 तो कर लिया था,
कर लिया
फिर
था
करूं?
हाँ
हाँ 30 तक पढ़ लिया मैंने.
अच्छा
ये हर्ष एक clarification का है. So when we are saying the light of Atma, when it identifies with body, then it is you, you and me, then it identifies with mind and intellect, then it is something else. So essentially, the Atma manifested in different um, part of the living being uh, gets identified with different names, if I can simplify it that way. See,
Think-
in other words, in everything that we are experiencing in this universe is a different form of the same Atma.
right. But think of it this way. Prabhat as a child was also Prabhat.
Yeah.
Prabhat as a young man was also Prabhat. Prabhat as today is also Prabhat. Prabhat before being an engineer was also Prabhat. Prabhat now identifies as an engineer is also Prabhat.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And father
So-
also.
So now you extend it, you make it universal, you make it global. So each and every person who is identifying with something in reality, in the truth, has the same Atma flowing through.
Mm-hmm.
As his son was also Prabhat, as father is also Prabhat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Different roles are being taken, and that role itself becomes the identity. जैसे मकरम ने कहा कि when you take up the role of a father, you identify as a father and you become a father. And same way, when you take up the role of a son or a husband or a brother or a person working in an office, whatever your designation may be,
Mm-hmm.
You keep changing these roles and identifying with these roles. But as soon as you get identified with the role,
The underlying realities remains the same. Yeah.
as soon as you are identifying with the roles, your expectations change, your behavior changes. Although underlying reality is that all the roles are taken by Prabhat. Prabhat himself is pure because he can change his role continuously. Yet he himself is unaffected. So in Atma, in the level of Atma, the Atma itself is unaffected.
Unaffected, yeah.
होता ये है कि जो रोल हम ले लेते हैं उसी के साथ हम अटैच हो जाते हैं टोटली.
साइडलाइन यही है जब लोग बाग यहाँ जो ये जो दूसरे रिलीजन है वो ये कहते हैं ना कि हमारे बस एक ही है. जो हमारे यहाँ जो डिफरेंट मूर्तियां हैं वो एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं गॉड के, but basically they are part of the God. That's the argument comes from Hinduism. Like they always say, oh, so you people have so many gods and so many this. But basically, I say particular attribute of God at that particular way. So it comes.
Underlying, and Bhagavan will say it actually, as we will go forward in Gita, Bhagavan will say this also in different words. Okay, so the person who have understood this theory, this reasoning, for him, one sees the self as a wonder. Another one speaks of it as wonder. And another one hears of it as wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidaya. Perceives as a ascharya, surprise, wonder. Ascharyavat chayena manyah shrinoti. Hears of it as a wonder. ठीक है ना? Speaks of it as a wonder, hears of it as a wonder, sees it as a wonder, and having done all of that, no one understands it. No one understands it because this is not an object to be understood. Because Atma cannot be converted into an object of understanding. That's why we do not understand it. Because Atma causes us to understand. So we cannot go back in reverse and understand what causes our understanding. This, the Dehi, the indweller, in the body of everyone is indestructible. Dehi nityam vadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata. Just like we said a few minutes ago, okay, that Atma is universal. But because of this identification with different roles, it appears to be separate. So he makes this statement that this Dehi, one who is occupying the Deha, indweller, which is in the body of everyone. It is avyaya. It is not avadhya. नित्यम अवध्य, अवध्य, वध कहते हैं ना मारने को, डिस्ट्रॉय करने, अवध्य है. It is not destroyable. It is indestructible. It cannot be killed. Therefore, you should not grieve. Right?
तो ऐसे देख सकते हैं हर्ष, जैसे कि अंधेरा है, रात है, टोटल अंधकार है, कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा, पर जैसे ही सूर्य उदय हुआ उसके प्रकाश में सब कुछ अलग अलग चीजें दिखने लगी, बिल्डिंग दिखने लगी, पेड़ दिखने लगे, आदमी दिखने लगे. और फिर जब दिन भर के बाद फिर जब अंधेरा हुआ तो फिर वो लुप्त हो गई. डार्कनेस, टोटल डार्कनेस, आई मीन, where you cannot see anything.
It's a good example, but इस example में थोड़ा सा difficulty ये है कि darkness is considered to be total ignorance.
हाँ.
So it actually prevents the awareness. It is not that it makes the awareness possible. It actually prevents the awareness. So, but the stage at which a person is able to become aware of the unity is actually enabling the awareness. So, but in between, and that's why sometimes we use the terms to explain which are something like, you know, in the darkness, a rope looks like a snake, or a pole looks like a ghost. So the darkness is the cause of ignorance in this case, है ना? रोप के ऊपर जो डार्कनेस है तो उस वजह से रोप वो स्नेक लग रही है. सो इट इज ignorance because of that. So we normally use the examples जिसमें हम लोग darkness को use नहीं करते हैं for projecting, for explaining knowledge. तो नॉर्मली हम नॉलेज को यूज करते हैं, लाइट को यूज करते हैं कि भाई हाँ, ठीक है जी. कोई चर्चा करें या आगे बढ़े?
ये बीच में रुका नहीं.
हाँ, मैंने उसको सब्सक्राइब कर लिया है.
अच्छा, वही मुझे लग रहा था कि सब्सक्राइब कर दिया लगता है. आसमान नहीं हुआ.
हाँ.
नहीं, इसमें 10 मिनट रह गए हैं तो थोड़ा इसको और डिस्कस करते हैं.
हाँ, तो कोई आदमी टाइम को कंट्रोल रखे क्योंकि मैं तो भूल जाता हूँ टाइम को.
8:50 है अभी तो. वी हैव स्टिल 30 more minutes.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
Because we do 2 sessions, so total 80 minutes, ना?
हाँ, ठीक है. हाँ, प्रभात कुछ कह रहे थे आप?
I think what I am concluding, which I also feel like that everything, जैसे हम कहते हैं, everything in this universe is pervaded through Brahman, right?
Yeah.
So now what I understood through this identification terminology, it is the same Atma being identified in different form, different bodies, right? Different subtle body, mind, intellect, ego. So in the same, if I extend it further, then everything that you and I see and experience is a different form of the same Brahman. The question is that correct thought process?
When you say that what we experience is a different form of Brahman,
Hmm.
you are correct, and yet you are also limited.
Hmm.
Limited by, because your experiences, but in this particular sentence, the experience that you are counting are dependent upon your own chit, your own perception.
Hmm.
And because they are dependent on your own perception, that's why they are different. So your experience of the same thing compared with my experience of the same thing will be different. Because your chit, your beliefs, your desires are different than my beliefs, my desires, my chit. But think of it this way, that when I look at somebody, whosoever it is, and if I can see that someone is projecting his own individual chit, and yet the light that is coming through is that of Brahman. आपने दिवाली पर आजकल, तो पहले तो हम लोग दिए जलाते थे, आजकल तो दिए कम हो गए हैं, वो लाइटें ज़्यादा हो गई। बट हर बल्ब का लाइट का रंग जो है वो कई बार
अलग।
कोई लाल, नीला, पीला, ऐसे हरा, डिफरेंट कलर के हम बल्ब जलाते हैं, लाइट जलाते हैं। बट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? द कलर ऑफ द बल्ब इज ओनली कलर ऑफ द ग्लास.
Which is projecting that.
The filament inside is projecting only the white light. Right? And of course, we can go further and we can say the electricity is still the same.
Yeah.
But think of it that every living being is like a different color of the glass. Although within that same living being, the real light is all pure white. And even go one step deeper and then say, okay, Brahman as electricity
Is pervading every instrument.
is the same electricity which is pervading everything.
Pervading every instrument in this world. Yeah.
See, रमन महर्षि के पास में एक मॉडर्न साइंटिस्ट टाइप का आदमी गया, and he wanted to prove that there is no God. So he sat down in front of Raman Maharshi and he started talking. He spoke for half an hour and he gave all the logics for non-existence of God. And Raman Maharshi kept smiling. And at the end he said to Raman Maharshi, so what do you say? Raman Maharshi said, I am looking at you with wonder. That how that light is projecting through you so wonderfully. You see, Raman Maharshi did not see those logics to be illogical or different or something. He still saw that the same light of Brahman is, coming out of this person.
That person.
But it's a different color.
जो भी बोल रहा है अपनी वासनाओं के तहत ही बोल रहा है.
But it's a different color, right? So for him, it was wonder.
Yeah, enlightened person sees everywhere they see the same thing, same light.
This is so wonderful, You're trying to prove non-existence of God, and actually, to me, you're proving it. So some see it as a wonder, some hear of it as a wonder, some talk of it as a wonder, but no one understands it.
Yeah, understand ये experience it, no?
Like I
Experience नहीं
said,
कर पाते.
just think of it this way that after having वो बोलते हैं ना कि वो शिष्य ने बोला कि हाँ अब मैं समझ गया, तो गुरु ने कहा कि भाई जो तुम समझे हो वो नहीं है,
कुछ भी हो।
वो नहीं है जो तुम समझे हो. You can still experience it as a wonder, yes, but to understand it, which is not possible, but to know it, you have to be it. You have to drop all other false identifications,
And reach to that level.
right? You don't really, बुद्धा से किसी ने पूछा कि भाई after enlightenment what did you gain? He said, I didn't gain anything.
I lost something.
I lost. I lost all my false identifications.
Yeah.
And as soon as I lost all those false identifications, I am what I am. So this is the beauty of this knowledge. Sometimes people do ask, what do you gain out of this? So I don't gain anything. I lose what should not have attached to me. I lose that. That is the beauty. That is the benefit of this knowledge.
ये भी तो कह देते हैं एक्चुअली कि चूंकि हम बॉडी और अपने एक्शन के साथ ही अपने को एसोसिएट करते रहे हैं पूरी लाइफ, तो ये भी कह देते हैं कि भाई इस ज्ञान से बेसिकली जो हमारा एक्चुअल शारीरिक रूप से जो हम अपने पूरी लाइफ चलाई है वो बड़ी बिलिटिल हो जाती है. क्या है यार, ये भी कुछ था, मतलब ऐसा भी एक फीलिंग आती है.
हाँ, क्योंकि एक्चुअली होता है नॉर्मल. दिस इज नॉर्मल, व्हेन अ पर्सन वांट्स टू गो टुवर्ड्स दिस नॉलेज, he says, what will I gain out of this knowledge? So when at that time we start with saying that you will gain clarity, you will gain calmness, you will be happy, you will gain all that. So this is just to motivate a person to move forward, right? But eventually once a person goes to that level, there we can tell him that you don't really gain anything. All you do is you lose what you should not have attached yourself with.
All false identification.
All the false identification, you lose that. That is your gain.
लेकिन हर्ष इसमें एक पॉइंट और भी है कि once you recognize your inner divinity, which is Brahman, which is the same Brahman which is pervading the universe, then we hear about the property of that Brahman, right, which is vast reservoir of love, peace, happiness, contentment. That is yet to be experienced or recognized until you reach to that other level.
But as you become closer and closer to that, you will experience this unconditional love, and you will experience this oneness. These will come as a side benefits automatically.
ये खिड़की भी तो धीरे-धीरे खुलती है एकदम.
Yeah, you don't have to work for it. It will come automatically.
Yeah.
So
मतलब मेरे ख्याल में होती यही है कि हम जितनी भी आध्यात्मिक स्टडीज हैं, जो भी हमारा इंटरेस्ट है, उसको बहुत ही एक मिनिमल लेवल पे हम परस्यू करते हैं. हर एक के साथ है, हमें मोस्ट के साथ है. तो हम कहते हैं भाई ये भी कर लो थोड़ा सा टाइप्स, बाकी तो सब कर ही रहे हैं, जो कर रहे हैं वही हमारा मेन काम है. पर बहुत इधर भी, तो वो जब तक हम अनन्यता से उस तरफ नहीं घुसेंगे तब तक ये एक्चुअली प्रकाश आना मेरे ख्याल से शुरू भी नहीं होता. So what we are taking right now in this discussion is taking baby steps, very baby steps.
You see, जब मोहम्मद अली कैसियस क्ले जब वो वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बना तो किसी ने बोला कि भाई रातों रात तो तुम्हारा स्टेटस बदल गया,
पीछे की तूने नहीं देखी।
overnight you have become a world champion and overnight your status has changed. So Cassius Clay said that yes, sure, it happened overnight because I won that championship. But you are not able to see the 15 years that I spent getting here.
Getting here.
Those 15 years are not visible to you. Those 15 years of effort, those 15 years of pushing myself, those 15 years of not accepting defeat, every time falling down and every time getting up. Those 15 years of hard work, those you don't see. All you see is that overnight I became a champion.
This is usually what we do.
So, same way in this path of divinity, spirituality, there is an effort goes on. But yes, when that realization occurs, it occurs instantaneously. But there is a lot of effort before that must occur.
Recent दो एग्जांपल जो मैंने सुने हुए हैं, जस्ट आई वांटेड टू शेयर एट दिस मोमेंट. एक तो मैंने ओशो को सुना था जिन्होंने बुद्ध के बारे में बताया था कि बुद्ध का एनलाइटनमेंट कैसे हुआ था. तो उसमें भी यही था कि ही हैड लॉस्ट, मतलब जो वो ढूंढ रहे थे उनको कुछ मिल नहीं रहा था बेसिकली. एंड अल्टीमेटली जिस जगह पे उन्हें ज्ञान प्राप्त हुआ था वो बोधिसत्व ट्री जो है उसके बराबर में कोई कैनाल या कुछ समथिंग लाइक दैट वाज देयर वेयर ही थके हारे निढाल होके along with his disciples or whoever he just left himself to maybe die or finish or whatever. और उस समय जो उनको स्वप्न में या उस तरीके की अवस्था में ही that light dawned on him, and then he got up from that kind of ardhamrit avastha se. When he got up, he felt that he knew at that time that enlightenment, as you are saying, when it comes suddenly. But uske piche ki jo toil and jo
he was torturing himself, right? Because of that time jo religious rituals the, he was following that.
सब करके देख लिया था, सब ढूंढ के देख लिया था, सब तरीके से पूछ के देख लिया था.
Drinking anything, right? So it was a divine interruption. They said, eat this because unless you eat, you will not achieve what you want to achieve.
दूसरा वो जो परमहंस जी ने जो विवेकानंद जी को जो, because Vivekanand also was very argumentative, extremely argumentative. He wanted scientific proof for everything. So फिर एक टाइम पर जब गुरु ने अपने जो भी उनका सोचा होगा कि भाई आगे अब मुझे निर्वाण प्राप्त होना है तो आई हैव टू गिव दीक्षा टू सम ऑफ माय पेट स्टूडेंट्स और व्हाटएवर, उनको काली के मंदिर में बुलाया था. और उस काली के मंदिर में ही जस्ट held his hand, and with that hand holding itself, this knowledge what carried was transferred to him. And after that Vivekanand never looked back.
Yep.
I mean, ये तो काफी अच्छे तरीके से क्रॉनिकल्ड है विवेकानंद जी का. तो
बस इसमें just I'm looking
नहीं कह सकते
मतलब कि मैं I'm just little bit adding, जो स्वामी रामकृष्ण के जो परमहंस के जो टीचर हैं वो थे what you call it ज्ञान योगी. तो रामकृष्ण परमहंस भक्ति योगी, एंड उन्होंने क्रिएट किया अपना सन वो राजयोगी. तो ऐसी शंकराचार्य की साइड के भी ऐसे तीनों टीचर जो हुए नहीं 3 जनरेशन में, मतलब लोग बहुत से कहते हैं भाई ज्ञान योग ठीक है या राजयोग ठीक है. ये इसकी वेरी क्लियर कट एग्जाम्पल है इनका जो टीचर थे ज्ञान योगी, वो इनसे इतने परेशान हो गए थे, उन्होंने इनका सिर हिला के कहा था कि तू इसको मतलब रामकृष्ण परमहंस का कि अगर आपको जो उन्हें ज्ञान हुआ उनके टीचर ने करवाया है वो इस बात तो बट ये तीन डिफरेंट जो है हमारे यहाँ ज्ञान योग, भक्ति योग, राजयोग।
तो भगवान कृष्ण ने गीता में तो कहा ही है कि कौन से रास्ता चूज कर लो, पहुंचोगे तो वहीं।
या
ठीक है, सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन। हर्ष,
चले आगे चले या कोई और चर्चा है इसमें?
मैं किसी को कुछ कहना है तो जरूर, अदरवाइज हमारे पास अभी 15 स्वधर्म वाला आ रहा है।
आज मदन नहीं है क्या?
है
Adam chooses to keep quiet
ध्यान मुद्रा।
and pen his opinion, which is also very nice to read. No, it's okay. इसको जैसे ठीक लगता है।
चले फिर आगे चलते हैं।
चलो
अगर
पढ़ो तो फिर।
और चर्चा नहीं है तो पढ़े मकरंद।
हाँ, 31
हाँ।
और 32 पढ़ लूं
हाँ
या आगे तक 34 तक?
हाँ 33, 34, 35, 36 और
स्वधर्मपि चावेक्ष न विकमितुमर्हसि धर्म्यादिद् युद्धाच्छेयोऽन्तक्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यद्रक्षा चोपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रिया पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्मं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्म कीर्ति या हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्ति चापि भूतानि कथिष्यनि ते व्ययाम् संभावितस्य चाकीर्ति मरणादितिरिच्यते। भयादरणादुपरन्त सन्यन्ते त्वां महारथा येषां च त्वं बहुभतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अव्याच्यवादाश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिता निरन्तस्तस्य सामर्थ्य ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्। 36 तक पढ़ा है।
37, 38 भी पढ़ लो।
हतो वा प्राप्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्ते युद्धाय कृतनिश्चय सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभो जयाजयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमपाप्यसि।
वंडरफुल। अच्छा, तो पहले आत्म की बात हुई, फिर उसके बाद में जीवात्म की बात हुई, और अभी वो भगवान उसको फिर वापस इस जीवन के उस पे ले आते हैं विद द प्रिंसिपल्स। सो 31st स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितम अर्हसि धर्म्यात् आदि युद्धाश्रेयोऽन्य क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते। स्वधर्म, यहाँ ये एक की वर्ड है, स्वधर्म। तो बोल रहे हैं कि एंड you should not waver for performing your swadharma. because there is nothing higher for a Kshatriya than a righteous war. Swadharma. So हम लोगों ने we talked about dharma when we started, and we said law of being, what makes a thing what it is. Swadharma becomes what makes me what I am. And this is where now, don't forget, we are now moving towards Jivatma and that identification after that. Because within the Jivatma, the three gunas are projected. See, Atma is beyond the three gunas. Atma itself is unconditional, unconditioned. It cannot be conditioned, avikar. But the identification with the Chit is where you start seeing the play of gunas. And then this combination of gunas create a temporary swadharma. Okay, we know Jivatma's condition is temporary. But now we are going one step further when we know also that the Chit, the vasanas and sanskars, the quality of these vasanas and sanskars, or the gunas, create a character of that Jivatma, create a personality of that Jivatma. Although temporary, because this can be changed, with knowledge it will change. But Arjun's character, Arjun's personality is that of a Kshatriya because of his guna and karma. What are his gunas? Briefly speaking, he has a abundance of rajas, but he has a very strong abundance also of sattva, with a very little of tamas. So his rajas makes him a person with action, and his sattva, which is the sattvic knowledge, makes him a person with positive action. And also this combination makes him a person with positive action for the sake of welfare and benefit of others, for the protection of others against the negativities. So this combination of gunas is termed as Kshatriya. Okay? And to perform that Swadharma, whenever he gets a chance to act and fight for the protection and well-being of others, this is his biggest or the most auspicious karma. The performance of this Swadharma is his most auspicious karma. And Bhagavan says that, remember, Arjun is right now in a state of confusion. And when you are in a state of confusion, you are not in a determined state to perform your duty because you are confused. So now Bhagavan says that further, having regard in regard to your swadharma, you should not waver. Because for you, for a Kshatriya, there is nothing higher than a righteous war. Now here, although he's saying righteous war, and some people will think maybe he's promoting war. युद्ध युद्ध जो है वो बहुत जगह यूज होता है वर्ड. So what he is saying is that because your swadharma, your guna and your karma is that of a Kshatriya, and now this is your opportunity to perform that dharma. So don't waver. This is not the time to waver. This is not the time to doubt. Because there is nothing higher than performing this swadharma for you, for a Kshatriya, of a yudh, performance of a righteous war. And then he continues, he says ki those Kshatriya who are given this opportunity, who are called upon to fight in such a battle, that opens the door of heavens. So I think I'd like to have some charcha here. We have only a few minutes left. And then we will continue. Generally what we say is that there are two main types of people, main categories, main types. One is a thinker, who becomes a tattva jnani. And one is a doer, who becomes a tattva karmi. I don't know whether that word is there or not, but I'm using it. Karma in itself is not a step towards enlightenment. For example, if a person spends all his life earning a jivika, earning a living for himself and his family, it is good karma. But in itself, it is not sufficient for him to take the next step. So there is this karma which becomes a yoga karma. And there is a karma which is not a yoga karma. Negative karma is definitely an opposite of it, all of it. So we will not even talk about that. Because we all know negative is totally negative anyway. But even a normal day-to-day karma is not a yoga karma. So for those people who fall into this category of actors, the doers, it is very important to perform the yoga karma. And of course, we are not talking about ritualistic things, we are talking about karma. And that's why it is important for a person like Arjuna if you are falling under that category of a positive action performer and you do not perform it, it's not good. If you perform it, it becomes a yoga karma. Although there are some other conditions which we will talk about as we move forward in the shlokas. But the first condition itself is that that action must be performed.
We will look upon,
Hmm?
the ordinary, the simple daily earners and who are normal people, like you just said, who don't come under the category of yog karmis. They will look upon the yog karmi for anything, for guidance or for solace or for
Yeah,
protection or anything.
in normal life, we look up on people who can inspire us
Yeah.
to do better, right?
Yeah.
So we do that all the time.
Yog
But-
karmis are few, very few.
Exactly. So in this case, Arjun himself is a yoga karmi actually, and he is considered to be that. And this is what the next slokas will also talk about, that if he does not perform that, then it has a negative impact on many things.
Mm.
First, if he performs it, it is very good for him. But if he doesn't perform it, it is not only bad for him, it's bad for others also.
Society, yeah, others.
So now Bhagavan has brought him down to that level where now he's talking about his guna and karma. You see how Bhagavan will keep this wave going.
Up and down.
He will go up and he'll come down and he will go up again and he'll come down. He will keep doing that until this whole thing becomes clearer. It is important, of course. We need to understand it from this level where we are, and we need to understand it from that level where we can be.
इसीलिए वो later on in the following इसी chapter में जो आगे श्लोकास में he talks about what is not karma
Yeah.
before we reach to that 47.
You know, that's the wonder of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
He will answer questions that come to our mind, and he will answer questions that even we don't even consider. But he will answer those questions. And those questions will actually open our eyes. Those are the aha kind of things. You know, when you have a question and you ask something, it's not an aha, it's an answer to the question. But something that you don't even consider, and suddenly that answer comes
Suddenly
in.
you get the answer.
See, aha. This is aha. Oh, wow, this is what it is. So this is what Bhagavan is continuously going to do. If we are lucky, we will be able to recognize those aha moments.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the 32nd, he's saying that those Kshatriyas are happy who are called upon to fight in such a battle. And it opens the door to heaven. Now, second thing, after Swadharma, there is a Swadharma. Remember, Swadharma is only, not only, but it also points towards a yoga karma. It just does not point towards just a normal fulfillment of, living, struggle of living. But it also, it actually talks about the yoga karma. And then he says, it opens the door of heaven. And this is just to make a note of this one, because he is going to talk about heaven also later on. But he's not going to talk about that heaven which people have been talking about, that there is some kind of a heaven, and after doing all the good works, you will go there and enjoy good food and peace and have these gardens, and you will enjoy all that. And once your visa is over, your good karmas are exhausted, you will come down. He's not talking about that. Although, to start with, Arjun understands that part. Arjun understands that there is a Swarg. Arjun understands that there is a Indra who is a king of Swarg. Arjun understands that performing good karma will take him to Swarg. And Bhagavan is going to talk about that also later on in a few shlokas. But at this point, he's saying that if you're a Kshatriya and you are given this opportunity to fight this battle, this is a good opportunity for you because it will make you happy and it will open the door of heaven for you. मेरे ख्याल हम टाइम हमारा अभी खत्म होने को आ रहा है, तो थोड़ी सी चर्चा अगर इस पे कर लेते हैं तो फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम. क्या ख्याल?
Yes.
तो हो गया उधर.
जब शांति होती है ना तो ऐसे लगता है या तो सब कुछ समझ में आ गया या कुछ समझ में नहीं आया.
That's always there. कि जो मूर्ख और ज्ञानी एक से लगते हैं भाई. तभी तो टेस्ट होता रहना चाहिए.
नहीं, एक बात और भी होती है जो शांत कर देती है, क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीजें आ जाती हैं तो
Yeah, I know.
जो बुद्धि है वो थोड़ी सी उनको डाइजेस्ट करने में लग
Yeah,
रही है.
you have to analyze it and you have to put in a different quarters and what is signing things you learn. That's always.
सर जी, आपके इस रिकॉर्डिंग को जब दोबारा सुनते हैं ना तो ज्यादा समझ में आता है मेरे को.
क्योंकि टाइम अब तुम सोच और चीजें रहे हो भाई साहब.
नहीं, मैं थोड़ा हर्ष से पूछ लूँ थोड़ा, बिकॉज जनरली दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव सीन. जो भी आपने रिकॉर्ड वाले जो भेजे हैं ना, आई मीन दे आर वेरी मच हेल्पफुल टू मी.
No, I think I'm not. As many time you listen, every time you get some more jokes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत सारी चीजों को टच करते हैं 1 घंटे 1.5 घंटे में.
या करेक्ट.
So it takes time to internalize them and
Correct.
So listening to it second time, third time, it gives a little bit more ideas.
Like what you have read a book, in grade 12. Now when you look at that book, now you understand more. You start to think, hey, grade 12 I didn't understand it that, but I was doing very well, but now it is making more sense to me. That's what it is always.
हर्ष जी, आपने कुछ 15 वो डाले हैं वीडियोस.
हाँ जी.
रिकॉर्डिंग जो 15 नंबर डाले हैं. Okay. Now they are. I hope they are in the sequence only, no? Because I was trying to see somewhere I was not able to locate. No?
नहीं, I'm going in sequence, but I'm going from the beginning.
From beginning.
अभी काफी बाकी हैं वीडियोस जो डालने हैं.
Agree. काफी बाकी हैं, but they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whatever. Because you have not written date. उसमें डेट नहीं एग्जिस्ट करती है, तो आई एम जस्ट कोरिलेटिंग व्हाटएवर आई हैव मेड नोट्स अराउंड दैट.
हां, मैंने इसलिए ना उसमें आपका सजेशन था ना, उसमें नंबर डाल दो, तो मैंने नंबर डाल दिया.
नंबर इज वेरी हेल्पफुल टू लोकेट दैट.